Midnight. And is she still here? Ooh. Oh, this is the one where Jules and Kira are talking. You have to worry about everyone knowing about that now too, on top of everything else. Okay, that's Kira. Oddly enough, she sounds more upset than angry. Right, we've heard this before. And so we're probably going to end up hearing this a couple more times, but I think it's good to listen to it again, just for the sake of listening to it. Someone else huffs out a muffled sigh. Jules. Seems like she's more pissed off than Kira for the moment, but doesn't voice the sentiment any further. You know, the worst part about it might be that it could have been so much worse. Not that there isn't time for it to get worse, you know, but we have all the time in the world, but still. For a moment there's just silence, the faint sound of quiet breathing. Jules. She's definitely still mad. Kira, as always, when she's not talking, is eerily quiet. This is also vague. It could be about Yancey. Offing him would certainly create a bad situation once they want to keep the secret at any cost. You'll have to keep eavesdropping, just to be sure. You're thinking about something else, I can tell. It's Kira's turn to sigh. Mostly just like, do you ever wonder whether this is worth it? Like, any of it? Is it worth it? Was it ever? Yeah. Jules sounds resigned now. There's a vague sense of exhaustion to her voice, but it's not, you think, targeted at Kira. When she speaks again, she does so with a heavy dose of care in her words. I thought it would be fun. Kira snorts. No, I mean, like, not fun, but after the beginning, I thought it would be more fun than this. Kira doesn't not respond. Okay, sure, bad joke, but yeah, Tally wasn't kidding when he said it would be like a meat grinder. Tally, the name sounds familiar, but you can't quite put a finger on it. But if you gave them a warning about the challenges of a life they lead or whatever, he has to have something to do with this sketchy operation. You wonder if this is one of those contacts Jules was referring to. Tally said that? My talk was a little different. So she knows him too. Still, she sounds surprised, maybe a little angry. You wonder what the deal is there. Tally informed me of that. I mean, he basically threw us in the deep end. I like Brick. I know. Now that sounds exasperated, but us seems to imply that they entered all this mob stuff together. So maybe Kira wasn't in the life before all this? Hard to tell through a doorway, though. Just impossible to figure out what's going down in his head most of the time. I know he's way older than us, but he's younger than some of the insane politicians we have to deal with, so it seems like he's in a similar place with all of that, too, but it seems like we don't get any advice from him. There's a confused fondness in Jules' voice, like she's full of understanding but can't quite parse out why she feels that way. I guess it just kind of feels like all we can do is try not to drown in it. Yeah. Her voice sounds defeated, but she definitely agrees. She's just not happy about it. Not that Kira is ever happy about anything. I'm sorry. That throws you for a loop. Is Jules responsible for this somehow? Given how scary Kira is, you'd have assumed that, if anything, she was the one who dragged Jules into this mess, if they didn't get sucked in at the same time. But it's looking like you might have been wrong about that. Jules, you don't need to apologize for him. But I never really did, though, did I? Now you're getting into the deep shit. Kira will probably disembowel you if she ever hears you eavesdropping. Shit. Is that going to stop you, though? Yeah, no, it won't. What do you mean? I mean, we've never really talked about what happened. Ever. Oh. If they decide to do that while you're in earshot, this is like the luckiest break in the entire brief yet dramatic history of your investigation. Goddamn. Even if this ultimately doesn't help you find Yancey, it's mysteriously juicy stuff. Yeah, that's not on you, though. That's on him. Is it? I mean, sure, yeah, it is, but it's not just on him. So boiling down to the facts, Brick did something, the two of them got into deep shit. Tally had some involvement. No, you're right. It's not just his fault. Yeah, so I'm not just apologizing for him, I guess. Wait, hang on. There's a drastic shift in the tone of Kira's voice, as if she can't quite believe what she's hearing. And you struggle to follow the thread, but she for sure has a better idea of the situation than you do. Stop. Whether you like it or not, it's on me too. I'm the one who got us into this mess. No. The one who got me into this mess is me. I dragged you into this. We don't need to play the whose fault is it game. Okay, Jules? Interesting. Just look. We both know it's Brick's fault. We both know that you and I, both of us made mistakes. But for a while, we've been doing what we can to survive, you know? So Brick got them into the life, close enough together that they can argue over whose fault it is. And they're in too deep over their heads. For a moment you feel a little bad for the pair of them. Well, if that's the case, maybe they're responsible for Brett ending up in deep shit, and you can't effing abide by that. He's your homie. I guess. But I can still call my parents every couple of months or whatever. Let them know I'm still alive, distance myself slowly, cut ties gently, all that jazz. You can't. Wait. Holy shit. Takira, did she... Are her parents dead? Did they have to kill her parents on the way out? Is that why they had to leave Chicago in a rush? A criminal record would explain for sure why Jules doesn't want to go into the flavor of journalism, where she'd have to work too closely with cops. I completely effed up your life, and I got you the rough end of the stick. I did that perfectly sufficiently by myself. Thank you very much, says Kira. Jules does not contest that. There's an uncomfortable amount of sincerity in Kira's words. At least he's incapable of actively trying to get us killed. Ah, you see, she, too, goes to deflect with sarcasm approach to the conversation school. Or if he was, he'd have done it already. It's a very tired laugh. Not quite a giggle, but something in the vague, nebulous vicinity of it. It'd have been way easier to just have us killed in Chicago, yeah. What the F? I keep meaning to talk to you about it, actually. I just don't know how. I never know how. Yeah, secrets. I feel like a shitty friend. Okay, yeah, you'd probably back that statement, considering it seems like there's a decent chance that Jules was put in some situation that could have resulted in her and Brick literally killing Kira. Now, whatever the F happened with Kira's parents, you think, listen, it's a hard thread to follow, a lot of moving parts with this one. You're a good friend. I just feel weirdly torn. He makes everything complicated, you know? Like, it's just, I just like the guy, even if I sometimes don't. And I give it 5 minutes and I do, you know? More silence. Jules' last question carries the vaguest hint of a plea. Kira, on the other hand, is speaking barely above a mutter. You have to actually strain to hear her. Yeah, I guess. A moment passes, then another moment. You're about to make your move and leave before they find you, awkwardly pressing your ear to the door before someone wanders by, but then... You hungry? It's quiet. Almost a whisper. And a complete effing non-sequitur. You don't hear a response from Kira. There's a soft mutter, but that could only be affirmative or a negative. It's basically impossible to tell. Go for it. Before they get up to leave or grab a granola bar or whatever the unstated plan is, you make your exit before the silence betrays your presence. Alright, so, I think I remember Jules being out, I remember Jules was out here before. I've actually spoken to her out here before. Jules is alone in the lobby. Now may be the best chance to get to Deb to talk, considering there's nobody else in earshot. We've had this conversation before, too. Is this a good time? Jules sighs. As good a time as any, I guess. She looks really tired. Kira out getting food? Jules blinks. It's not quite panic, but it's a close approximation. No, I think Brick wanted to talk to her. That doesn't sound like something you're enthusiastic about. Jules shrugs. He's a good guy, they just have a lot to talk about. That feels like the understatement of the century, but you didn't come here to talk about Brick now, did you? You seem a little off tonight. It's just been a long week. You nod, sagely. Long night. It's that time of night where people tend to get a little deeper. You know this from experience. Around the frat, once the clock strikes 1, it's pretty easy to get bogged down in the real shit. You know, it's also about the time you all start sharing dumb theories about the latest crappy 80s movie the boys have subjected you all to. And by boys you mean Hunter. It's always Hunter. He's just like that as a person. Can I ask you, like, a personal question? You can always try. Okay, you've got one shot at this. Best strat is going to be try and lean into it gently, not to immediately go for the jugular. It could appeal to her sense of sympathy. Maybe she just seems like she has one because she's standing next to Kira all the time, but like, Jules is cool. Kyle, while still sus, considers her one of his close friends. He wouldn't feel that way if there wasn't a good reason for it. I need your help with something. I've told you everything I know about Yancey already. You shake your head. This isn't about Yancey. It's about Brett and Kyle. Oh, what about? Now you've lined up the shot. Now it's time to go in for the kill. Sometimes, man, it feels like I barely know him all of a sudden. It's a full and risky move, but it might just be your best one yet. Because at the heart of it, it's true. They're your homies. Or at least they were. And he felt that slipping over the past couple of months, over the past year. Ever since this whole mess started. Kyle was out of it first, and then Brett was just distant. Now the pair of them are physically present, but it's clear to everyone they've been a little tuned out. So sure, you're asking her with a clear-cut angle in mind. You want to get her talking about her and whatever the shit is going on with Kira and this whole mess with the mob or whoever it is. But that isn't the only thing. Part of you is hoping that she genuinely might have some good advice. And oh boy, does the shot pay off in the end. Yeah, I get that. Been there before? Feels like a bit of an understatement. She pauses, unsure. You want to talk about it? I don't know what I want. Yeah, man, welcome to your 20s, am I right? Shit sucks. Jules laughs. It's an ugly laugh, abrupt and uncontrollable, and over as quickly as it breaks free of her throat, but life's just like this. We gotta buck up and handle for as long as we got left. She doesn't sound terribly optimistic on that front. Maybe she's being maudlin, but you don't think that's a really good sign for either of you. Still, she's got a point. Should just be like that sometimes. Cheers, bro, I'll drink to that. You ever talk to him about it? Which him? She shrugs. Either. Nah, I'd do it, I just can't find the words. You pause for a beat. What about you? You ever consider asking Kira about it? You know she has, but you want to get her take on it in her own words. That shit sounded complicated as all hell. I don't even know who she is anymore. Damn. She sounds hurt. Kinda sucks to say it out loud. She's also not that bad. You're a braver person than me. Jules nods. Alright, then, you set yourself up for that, but damn. Probably. But I mean, I know she's still Kira deep down underneath. There's a frustrated gesture. Everything. Everything? I wish I knew. Oh. Whoa. You don't? I thought you guys were close. We were. And yeah, I thought so too, but that one is mostly on me. You tell her you want to fix shit? It's complicated. And there's no fixing the shit I've put her through. We both have to live with the consequences of our own decisions. And yeah, there it is, the old middle-of-the-night conversational depth. You can't know that if you never ask. People aren't telepathic, man. Jules bites her lip. For some bizarre reason, she finds your advice funny. I think we can safely say that 95% of people are, for sure, not telepathic. Seems a little low. I didn't major in math. But to answer your question, I'm not sure I have the right to ask her about what happened. Something happened? I said I didn't know everything, didn't I? She says it like it's agonizing. Like she wants to know, but unlike you, feels strongly that she can't touch the subject with a 10-foot pole. Never mind dedicate all her energy into unpicking the mess of it all. Like you're trying to do. This is about you leaving Chicago, isn't it? Jules nods. Well, kind of. I actually don't really know why we left. Holy shit. Damn, wait. So you're completely in the dark then? One look at her face and all you can think is, ouch. Probably should have phrased it with a bit more tact. Jules doesn't respond. Sorry. Don't be. But I phrased it poorly. I know why I left, but I don't know why either of them did. Wait, so you don't know why they came with you? Jules shakes her head. No, I came here with them. You moved across country on a whim? She was my best friend. In spite of everything else, she still is, and I think I'm still hers. It wasn't a whim, and knowing what I know now, I know I'm responsible for part of that, but it hurts that they don't trust me with the rest, you know? I mean, practically I get it. There are things I'm never going to understand because of how shit played out. But with Kira, it doesn't feel like that's all of it. Whenever we come too close to the subject, she just gives me this look. Like as she takes it a step further, she thinks she's going to lose me permanently. Like whatever it is, I'll hate her for it. Okay, so understanding what I do understand now, because we went through Brett's story, I think I'm understanding a little bit more about what's going on between her and Kira. Like, I'm pretty sure that Kira's family and Kira herself were killed by vampires or something along those lines. And Brick managed to save Kira, probably because Jules asked him to. Possibly. I think that's basically what happened. So Jules blames herself for getting Kira turned into a vampire. Brett is Brick is trying to, like, talk Kira into understanding things. Kira is scared of losing Jules as her bestie because Kira now has, a beast inside of her that wants to eat people, which, is probably a bit of a thing to get used to. And I think that's why she's afraid of, like, really talking about it with Jules. Because Jules is a thin blood, I think we've assumed or gotten together at this point. So Jules is, like, a very weak vampire, comparatively. I think it's been, the things that I've read about it, it's sort of like, their beast doesn't completely take control of them, but they do need to still feed on blood. So they're not in danger of, like, frenzying like how other vampires are. So Kira can feel the need, the beast inside is trying to break loose and feed on blood, and she's always hungry for blood and all that stuff, and Jules is like, she doesn't feel fully that. So that's what this thing is that's separating them, I think. What if she's right, and that's why she hasn't told you anything? It's Kira. I don't care what she's done. And it's possible that, like, another thing too, a lot of times when people first turn into vampires, like, they need to feed on a lot of blood, and that usually ends up in them killing someone. And so Kira, probably her first meal, she probably killed someone and is now feeling the guilt of it, if she's, like, freshly turned, fledgling kind of vampire. And hasn't told Jules about it because, well, she's worried she's gonna lose Jules as a bestie. I just want to understand. You get it, you really do. Ugh. The downside of kicking off the 1 a.m. deep shit is that you're now suffering from the same emotional punch to the gut that you've gone and given her. Fighting Yancy's important, but you can wait a little while. Wanna play a quick match of legally distinct first-person shooter 6? God, yes. You spend the next half hour letting her kick the shit out of you. She's surprisingly good with a pistol. Oh yeah, she killed us in a different timeline with a pistol. You understand why Cal likes hanging out with her so much. Need to get back to the investigation. Unfortunately, in spite of just how human Jules seems in comparison to the rest of them, she's the best lead you've got. Sure, maybe she doesn't know anything about what happened to Yancy, but you've missed one critical element to the investigation, scouring her room for clues. Now you have a shot at doing exactly that, because she sort of crashed out in the lobby sofa after the last match there. Ooh. Okay. Taking bets. Who's gonna kill us this time? Jules killed us when we discovered some stuff about Kira and Brick. So I'm actually gonna think that either, because we were following Brick's storyline there, so I was surprised Brick didn't kill us. It was Jules who killed us, protecting Brick and Kira. So now we're invading Jules' stuff and we're gonna find out stuff. Either Kira or Brick is going to come in here and kill us. I would think it's probably going to be Kira, but I could be wrong. So, okay. Take bets on who's going to kill us this time. Like so many in this hotel, Jules' room is fairly bare bones. But unlike many, she's decorated a little. Her blue bed sheets wouldn't be entirely out of place in the frat house. They're not standard hotel linens. The regular issue hotel desk is covered in journalism textbooks that she's not gotten around to getting rid of yet. But above that is a little bulletin board studded with old photographs. They're not entirely sentimental, most of them are landscapes. You know she's from Chicago, and that checks out here, too, though you haven't been to the city since the last time you flew out to see the White Sox game. A couple snapshots of the Chicago River, some pretty artfully framed city line shots, Jules by a lake in the summer clothes, like Michigan maybe? Now these photos are of San Francisco. But looking at the desk, something else catches your eye. Tucked away into a corner, probably so it's not immediately obvious to anyone who enters the room, since it's out of sight of both doors, There's a small photograph that seems to be of Kira. You pry the photo off the wall. It is Kira, though she looks even younger. She's standing in a park during the winter. Bobble hat and everything, as the snow falls through the trees all around her. You've never seen her smile like that. And you nearly jump out of her skin when the door closes suddenly to reveal the same woman. Ah, yep. Kira's here to kill us. I was right. Called it. Except she's no longer quite the same, is she? Little nosy of you, isn't it? Her voice is calculated and cold and ruthless, and you immediately wonder how you could have ever possibly considered Brick the scariest of the bunch. Were you looking for Jules? Because I can't think of any other reason you'd be here with your hands all over her desk. Lie, a voice inside your head says. It won't go well for you if you don't. Yeah, I need to ask her some questions, actually. It's like a switch flips. Kira goes from murderous to almost maniacally enthusiastic in a heartbeat, and the little voice in your head can't stop screaming, danger, because of it. But the calculated purpose never leaves her voice for a moment. Convenient! I was wondering where she was as well. 1 second. She cracks the door open a hair and all but screams down the hallway. Anyone know where Jules is? Yeah, she went out to her car to grab a protein bar. Look on the one's face really starting to wig you out. Great, I'll go get her. You try to start proposing as calmly as you can reasonably can at this moment, but Kira ignores you. Cal, can you go get her for me? Tell her I'll meet her at the car. I am busy! Her voice, when she responds, is dangerous. You'd run for it, but you're pretty sure she's one step ahead of you on that one. After all, she's actively blocking the doorway. The doorway? That's weird. You swore the hallway lights were on, but now it's so dark you can't see past the threshold. Yeah, she's a Lasombra. She's using her darkness powers to do darkness on you. And now you're busy with something else. Tell Brett he can add it to my tab if he's pissed about it. You don't have to ask Kyle. I can go get her. The door is shut suddenly. Oh my god, she's at least seething. Ugh. I don't need to talk to her at all, actually. And neither do you. What the F was that? Giving Kyle the requisite 30 seconds to get out of range. I don't care why you're up here. Lie, the voice whispers as Kira's shadow grins at you. Oh, the shadow is grinning at us. Lovely. Amusement apparent in its swaying form that is so woefully absent from the face of the woman staring up at you. Oh, her shadow's doing a dance. Lovely. Listen, I just lost my phone talking to her earlier, and I can't tell if it's a good or bad thing that in an instant her expression changes, and now she looks as delighted as her shadow does. Oh, that one in your hand? Yeah, I dropped it earlier. Fell down by the desk. Did you break it? Her voice is dripping with horrifyingly gentle concern. Let me see. I'm good with phones. I might be able to solve the problem. Give me your phone. Oh, yeah, she's good with phones. She's gonna break it. She says it. No, commands it. It's a command in a cold, dead voice, but you don't even think. Your phone is already in her hands. You want to protest, ask what the F, but she's already taken it from you, and all but ripped the picture out of your grasp along with it. The phone gives a terrible sputter at the moment it closes. She closes her fingers around the edges, not smashing it, but it just... Hey, what the shit? Your phone sparks now, making haunting noises that reminds you of your old man's dial-up back before you managed to convince him, effing finally, to switch to broadband. Before the whole damn thing goes eerily silent, smoking silently, and Kira interrupts you again. Shut up. She says it flatly, and you do. But not just because she has a stranglehold on your cognitive function for some reason. No, you probably shut up either way because the world goes black a split second after Kira's eyes do. Not dark, not like you're in the basement trying to find a fuse box. It is utterly and completely black. You can't even see the flickering red light on the smoke alarm, nor the exit sign, nor where the window should be. There are no streetlights, no glittering horizon of city buildings, not even a single star or landing plane. You can't see anything at all, and you can't breathe. It feels like anxiety at first, but someone kicked the wind out of you hard. You grasp for air and realize there's none. Kira. You try to wheeze the word out, but there is no air in your lungs, and you can't hear her either. Just the foggy, muffled sounds of your footsteps as you scramble for her, the door, something, the window, but it's too dark, and you can't breathe. Yeah, that's the thing Lasombra can do. They can basically, at least the books that I read, maybe it's different in the later books, but that sounds like the classic Lasombra stuff that I remember reading in the books I have. Where they can basically just remove the oxygen from the air and you're just like, you know, over an area. So yeah, lovely. Oh, and I like the fact that she was yelling at Kyle to get out of the way, because Kyle's the only other human at that point in the building. That's true. Jules is outside, and she's thin blood. And Kyle is the only other human, so she was actually looking out for them. That's surprising. I didn't even think about that, but that's true. Okay. So yeah. Now I think we need to look at Kira, and then we only have Luca after that.